how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and this time we got a story time for you. This story time takes place in Paris and it happened a few years ago, so if a few things are a bit topsy-turvy and all stuff like that, then you will understand, I hope, but it shouldn't be, so let's see, shall we? So we arrived in Calais about midday, ended up travelling to Paris and got there about 3, maybe 4 o'clock. So it was close to, I don't know, say evening, and we didn't really have much to do. Sort of, we was going to the Eiffel Tower, climb that, and going for dinner, and then we was going to go back to the hotel and sleep because it would be like midnight, and we had to get what they call the metro, which means underground train or subway, if you're from anywhere else in the world. That speaks English, whether it's American English, Canadian English, or English English. But that's besides the point because that comes into it a lot later. Anyway, so heading towards the Eiffel Tower, we had a lot of encounters. Sort of, we'll go through all the train stations, and there's people on the ground, and there's quite a big homeless community there. And I say community because you could make a community out of all of them, and if you was to rehouse them, you'd have a whole nother city. And they're there trying to offer you all different sorts of things, roses, anything, just for a bit of money, which, if you're a school student when you go, like I was, you don't have anything to spare. But possibly the best thing, and one of the main things this story time is going to revolve around, is sort of every sort of different type of person there is. Because you'll go up and you'll find a street performer, but they're not any old street performer. They're like, you bet this, and I bet you that if you can't do this, then I will have your money. If not, I'll double it, which is my favourite thing to do. Because I watch a lot of TV, I know their hustle. I know what they're going to try and do. I know how it all works, and I also have a very keen eye for precision. So, in case you didn't know, the currency in Paris, or well, the currency in France and most of Europe is the euro, which is great because it's a lot less than the Great British Pound. So, I can considerably bet very little and win back very more. Wow. I can bet considerably small and get back lots. So I've taken out €10 with me, which is the equivalent of about, what? I'd say £8, £9, which is about $14, $15 if you're American, and something considerably less if you're Canadian. But they're out to hustle, so what are they doing? The 3 ball trick. Not the magic trick, no, the one with a couple of balls where you put a ball under one cup and then you move them around as quick as you can. What they do is they will switch cup halfway through without you realising when they lift 2 up at the same time and switch the ball. You need a keen eye to see this, and this is where it went great because they don't know that I know how they do it. So every time that they've done that and I pick the right one, I get my money back. I put in more, I get my money back, and then they start to bet you double or nothing. And that's where the fun comes in because you say, okay, double, and they try and make it harder. They move quicker, but you know where it's going because they're so predictable. You watch their hand movements. Every time their hand tilts, they switch the ball, and you follow the cup, they switch it too. Unless you didn't see the very colour of the ball because they're using silver cups with a red ball all the time. And that's how I made my money in Paris to use in Disneyland, which doesn't matter, and to use up the Eiffel Tower because it's €5 for a bottle of Coke, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I said this is a story time, and this doesn't really seem like a story time, it seems like a guide. So I'll tell you the story of what happened when we got down from the Eiffel Tower. We'd finished dinner and we was walking towards a, funny enough, double-decker underground train to get back to the hotel. This is about what, 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock at night, and we're all relatively happy. We're all full, had a nice dinner, I guess. Sort of just food from Paris. We got to go around. It was more sort of meat, but you know, same old same. You've eaten it before, you'll eat it again. Same, restaurants, they all do the same. And with a lot of different underground stations or subway stations from wherever you're from, there's normally escalators to go down. In Paris, I didn't see one escalator, and the barriers are very different. I witnessed one of my group get stuck in between a barrier and a massive door thing because if you know in England, I don't know if it's the same in America, but if you put your thing down and the barrier's open, you walk through. On this, you put your card down or your travel card through. The barrier's open. There's a massive door thing that you have to push out the way, which is locked if you don't put your travel card through or your oyster down or whatever it is. And it's very hard to push out the way either way, whether you know to push it out of the way or whether you think it's just going to open. So that was one thing. Second of all, the stairs are very steep. Now, one of my friends that I was with called Amy, she was walking down the stairs just casually. She was behind all of us, you know how it is. And these are concrete steps. She misplaced her foot, and I looked left and see someone rolling and tumbling whilst holding on to the back, whilst trying to grab hold of this barrier. Little did I know that it was Amy who had misplaced her foot and tumbled down the stairs. Yeah, she tumbled, God, about the equivalent to about 30 different concrete steps, which weren't very big at all, before she managed to grab hold of the barrier and support herself. And then we got on the train, and there was a lot of us. We was very loud. So, simple being, if anyone gets on the train and we're very loud, people are going to get annoyed, as you would know whether you are anywhere and you are with someone on a train that is very loud, just talking or shouting. Now, we're English and we're talking to each other, and of course, there's a woman, the one woman that gets on. Now, we're trying to be respectful and not too loud, but she gets on, and the first thing she does is get annoyed. Now, it took a minute for us to translate the French because we had we had a translator for us that spoke very, very fluently in French. So, you gotta bear with me because I don't know how well the translation is from them, but as they explained it, and I don't remember the full translation, but what I do remember, I will tell you. So of course this woman, as I said, got on. She was very angry. She got very annoyed very quickly. Just lost her temper, and in English she's shouting at us, "Shut up! Shut up!" Before any of us have chance to respond, our translator steps in and says in French, "I'm sorry. Is there a problem?" She replies with, "Oui, ils sont trop brillants et dérange mon baby," which in English responds with, yes, they are being loud and disturbing my baby." Which our teacher then responded back in French, which I don't know the translation of into French, but I know what she said in English, is, "Well, I'm their teacher, or translator, whatever you want to call them. I'm their teacher. Do you want me to tell them to quiet down? And I will tell them to if you wish." The woman responded in French, which translated back into, "Well, I think shut up would be pretty obvious enough." So she could tell this woman was very stressed, and she didn't want to argue. She said, "Okay, I'm their teacher, maybe they didn't hear you, I'll just tell them to quiet down." And the woman responded with probably the best sentence you will ever hear in French, which I will tell you in French first. Now, are you ready for this? Because it took me a long time to translate this, and this is why it took so long and why we was not told what it meant on the train until we got back to the hotel. She replied with, "Je n'entends pas une base, il devrait comprendre l'anglais, je crois au précaire." Now, if you can translate that at the speed I spoke it, and if my French is correct, then well done. But if you don't know what it means, then it stands for "I don't give a fuck. They should understand the English I shouted at little pricks." And that's my experience on my first day in France. Other than that, we went to Disneyland and then shopping, and none of us got conned or anything, because we had all brushed up on our French that night to try and work out what the woman had said. And we had to ask how to order food in French because if we didn't ask for the food in the correct French, then the sort of French people wouldn't understand us and they'd give us something completely wrong. Like one night I ordered gammon and I ended up with beef. So, all good. Now, that's all I really have time for in this story time. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Friday. And that's right, I'm going to keep to my schedule from now on. Hopefully, everything goes up at midday. If not, then it will be up between midday and 6. So, hope you enjoyed. Stay beautiful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share if you've got time, and drop a favourite if you've got one. Goodbye, guys.
Let it go, make my body go. Make our bodies higher.